Yo, bro, they leaked the F-18 and Su-30SM.
They what? Hold on. Whoa. War Thunder 2025 decal? Oh. So, as many will know, the snail gifted us the 2025 decal, which happened to have the Su-30SM and the F-18 on it. After all this time, we finally got our first confirmation of the goddamn F-18. I'm all for it. As always, this is the first video for 2025, so if you enjoy, make sure you hit that like, sub button. It helps me out a ton in reaching my 1,000 sub goal. I hope to hit it by March 2025. But on with the video. This is going to be on everything you need to know about the Su-30SM. Always, this is coming from research I've done. This isn't all confirmed. This isn't guaranteed to come. This is just real life stuff that the aircraft had and was capable of using. First, let's get into a brief, detailed operational history of the Su-30SM. As always, everything is timestamped below, so you can skip around to where you want. The Su-30SM, which is a highly capable multi-role fighter, has been involved in multiple military operations and deployments since its introduction into service. Development and entry into service started in 2012 and 2013. The Su-30SM was developed as an advanced derivative of the Su-30MK series, tailored to meet the Russian Air Force's specific requirements. Entered operational service in 2012, with deliveries to the Russian Air Force and Navy commencing soon after. Early units were used for training and integration exercises, showcasing their versatility in various roles including air defense, precision strikes, and maritime patrols. The Su-30SM saw its first significant combat deployment during the Russian military intervention in Syria. Primary roles consisted of providing air superiority to secure Russian airspace over Syria, conducted air escort missions for strike aircraft such as the Su-24, Su-34, and the Tu-22M bombers, performed ground attack operations using guided munitions against positions within Syria. Taking this brief operational history, you can kind of see what this aircraft can do. It does a little bit of everything, which is absolutely amazing. With the Su-30SM being known for its versatility, I'm going to give a breakdown of every weapon it can use from my knowledge and my research. Starting off with the standardized internal gun, it uses the GSH-31 cannon. It is the same cannon found on the MiG-29, Su-27 flanker, the Su-33 I believe. It is 30mm, 1500 rounds per minute, and it shoots, or it has an ammo capacity of 150 rounds. Starting off with air-to-air missiles, the Su-30SM is designed for dominance in dogfights and BVR combat. It can carry a mix of short-range and long-range air-to-air missiles. First up, we have the R-77, which we all know is the active radar-guided missile that Russia gets. It's a medium-ranged ARH missile. It is designed for BVR combat, designed to engage highly maneuverable aircrafts as it has a pull of 50 Gs. It can also simultaneously engage multiple targets with advanced radar tracking coming off the radar, which we'll get into in the avionics section. Next up, we have the IR missiles it can carry. It carries R-73s and R-27Ts and ETs. The R-73s are optimized for dogfights. It has thrust vectoring, giving it excellent maneuverability. It is also compatible with HMD, giving it access to high, and I mean high, off-bore sight shots. The R-27T is a much lower range compared to the ET, however, it does get a farther range than the R-73 by about 3-4 kilometers. This allows it to sneak up on the enemies. It has access to IRCCM, but the main one you're going to want to be using if you're going to go that route is the ET, giving it a much faster speed, sitting at about Mach 5.8 in game on the stat card at least. We all know how accurate that is, and a much farther range. You can literally sneak missiles up people's tailpipes and they will have no idea. Finally, for the missiles, we have the Fox 1s, or the semi-active radar homing R-27s, which is the R-27Rs and ERs. We all know how this was. There's a gazillion videos on the R-27R when it was meta. So I'm not going to go into much detail. The R27R and ER has still, even to this day in Fox 3 meta, remained very potent within the game. Moving on to air-to-ground missiles, the Su-30SM can conduct precision strikes on ground-based targets using a variety of air-to-ground missiles. First up, we have the KH-31P, which is an anti-radiation missile with a range of 110 kilometers and a speed of Mach 3.5. It's designed to do SEED, which is suppression of enemy air defense, which I don't believe we have an anti-radiation missile yet. So I don't think we'll see this, but we're going to move on to the next one so we don't get too deep into that one. The KH-29T/L. The KH-29T is TV guided while the L is laser guided, with a range ranging from 10 to 30 kilometers and a 320 kilogram high explosive. It is used for striking fortified ground targets, bunkers, buildings, bridges, tanks of that sort. We also have the KH-59MK, which is a medium-range precision-guided missile with a range of 285 kilometers with TV guidance or satellite navigation. I'm not even going to get into that. I don't think we're going to see that, just being honest. Now, we do have a variety of anti-ship missiles, which is the KH-31A, which is a active radar-guided anti-ship missile with up to 160 kilometers in range and a speed of Mach 3.5. It is built for engaging frigate-sized and larger ships, which we may be able to see. It needs that higher speed to make it harder to intercept. We also have the KH-35U, which is subsonic and a sea-skimming missile. 300 kilometers range, active radar, and inertial guidance. I don't think we'll see it, but in case we do, it is designed for anti-ship missions with, the ability to basically skim the sea to avoid radar detection, keeping it alive and making sure it gets to its target. It also carries an assortment of laser-guided and dumb bombs as well as rockets. We're going to go through these real quick. We have the KAB-500L, which is a laser-guided bomb, and it's to 500 kilogram. We have the 1500L, which is the same thing, laser-guided bomb, and it's 1500 kilograms. Then we have the FAB-500 and the OFAB-250, with the FAB-500 being 500 kilograms, 250 being 250. For rockets, it has S8 rockets, which are 80mm unguided rockets. This vehicle will most definitely have CCIP. It has S13 rockets, which are 122mm unguided rockets. And we have S25 rockets, such as 250 heavy unguided rockets. Other systems that will obviously come with this are targeting pods, so it can, do the guided munition stuff. It will get external fuel tanks. And going on to the payload capacity and configurations, it has a maximum payload of 8,000 kilograms. It has 12 hardpoints, which are on the wings and fuselage mounted, configurable for a combination of missiles, bombs, and fuel tanks. And the loadout is flexible. The Su-30SM can carry mixed payloads, air-to-air and air-to-ground, to adapt to diverse missions. Depends on what you need. This arsenal makes the Su-30SM an exceptionally versatile fighter, capable of adapting to virtually any mission type, from air superiority to ground attack and anti-ship operations to air superiority and ground superiority. It can do it all. Fair warning ahead of time, the Su-30SM is equipped with an advanced suite of avionics that provides superior situational awareness, precision targeting, and robust defensive capabilities. Designed to excel in the multi-role, and I mean excel in that multi-role capability package. Its avionic package incorporates state-of-the-art systems for navigation, communication, radar, electronic warfare, and weapon integration. Here's a detailed breakdown of everything it can receive. For radar systems, it can receive the N011M Panther radar, which is a PASA radar or a passive electronically scanned array radar, with a detection range up to 400 kilometers for large aircrafts and 120 to 150 for smaller fighter-sized targets. It has up to 200 kilometers for ground mapping, and it can simultaneously track up to 15 targets and engage up to 4 air targets or 2 ground targets at once. This aircraft also comes with IRST, or Infrared Search and Track, which is, to be specific, the OLS-30. This allows it to see air targets up to 90 kilometers in the head-on and 50 kilometers rear aspect, and ground targets up to 30 kilometers. This varies by target size. This detects and tracks targets without emitting radar signals, making it stealthy against radar detectors. can lock onto thermal signatures of aircraft, ground vehicles, or missile launches, and has integrated laser rangefinders, providing accurate range data for targets up to 10 kilometers. For cockpit systems, it has access to MFDs or multifunction displays, which features 2 large color MFDs and several smaller auxiliary displays in glass cockpit designs. It has access to HUD, which is whenever you look around in your helmet, you can kind of see details you need to know, like speed, altitude, all that good stuff. And you also have HMD, which allows you to simply lock on the targets using your radar or IR missile just by looking at them. Now, we haven't really seen too much electronic warfare within the game. This aircraft can jam enemy radar systems to prevent missile locks and deceive incoming missile guided systems by creating false targets, but I don't think we're going to see that, so I'm only going to go over the RWR, which we already know what RWR does. It alerts the crew and within the aircraft of enemy radar missions and potential threats. And it also has countermeasure dispensers, which we'll get into a little bit later, which is MAL and all that good stuff. But for communication systems, it has access to data link, which we may actually see come to the game, as I believe the Rafale has it within the game right now. Which is, if you don't know what data link does, it's real-time data sharing with other aircrafts, such as AWACS, ground vehicles, and other teammates, which means you can use your other teammates' radar to kind of look and see what is coming around you, what's coming at you, and targets in the distance. Alright, we're going to quickly go over the fly-by-wire system, which, as we'll get into shortly, this aircraft is thrust vectoring. It is a thrust vectoring platform, so it is on a fly-by-wire system, and it's a system that enhances stability and control during low speed and high angle attack operations, and it also provides automated stall recovery and spin prevention, which is obviously very important for an unstable aircraft like this. For defensive systems, it has MAL, which is becoming a trend with these aircrafts, as it should. It uses optical and radar sensors to detect incoming missile threats and automatically deploys flares and chaff as needed. It also has the ability to use IRCM, which is capable of jamming the seekers of, infrared guided missiles. And it's often used in conjunction with flares for enhanced survivability. If I have to be honest, the Su-30SM's Avionics suite is one of the most defining features of the aircraft, and there's a couple things that I actually left out because I just know for a fact we're not going to get it. Unless they somehow make these new features all come out by the time it drops, a lot of these we may not see, so I left a lot of them out. However, you can find full details pretty easily. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Finally, we're going to look at the engines and the thrust vectoring that the Su-30SM gets. It gets the AL-31FP turbofan engines, which is an afterburning turbofan engine with the thrust vector control, or also for short TVC. Without afterburner, it can make 17,130 pounds of thrust per an engine, and with afterburner, it can make 27,600 pounds per an engine. It also has 2D nozzle control, allowing it to pitch axis in a plus or minus 15 degrees, which is only up and down. This isn't 3D, so it can't roll the engines left and right. It is just like something like the F-22 Raptor, where it can only go up and down. The simple benefits of thrust vectoring allows it to have a very good AOA. The Su-30SM can sustain controlled flight at extreme AOAs, which is very crucial in advanced dogfighting. The enhanced agility in dogfights, the TVC allows the Su-30SM to execute tight turns and extreme post-stall maneuvers, giving it a significant edge in close-range aerial combat. This also gives it improved stability and control, because even at low speeds and high altitudes, the thrust vectoring system ensures the aircraft remains stable and responsive to the pilot inputs. This works hand in hand with that fly-by-wire system we talked about earlier. For combat applications, the ability to point the nose quickly in different directions despite the aircraft's velocity vector allows the Su-30SM to lock onto and fire at enemies while maintaining a defensive position. This is very important. Now, this would be the first thrust vectoring aircraft to come to War Thunder. So let me know down below what you think this will do to the game. Do you think it'll be too OP, or do you think it's about time that we actually get something? Me personally, I think it's about time, and I think it's going to be a fair match for the F-18. As fair as it can be, considering that this F-18 is pretty long overdue. Now, my personal opinion, I'm actually glad we're stepping into the thrust vectoring range of, aircrafts. This opens up a lot of aircrafts that Russia specifically can get, but even potentially, some prototype aircrafts we could get for squadron vehicles for like America or a couple other nations. This is a very important stepping stone going into the War Thunder community, as it is, as said before, it's just going to allow us to get so many different platforms. As always, if I miss anything, let me know down in the comments. I do intend to make a video like this for the F-18s, because I think the F-18, after all this time, deserves its own video, so I decided, instead of throwing it into one video of some other plane, I want to make a dedicated video to maybe all the models of the F-18s that we would receive. Now, I try to keep it to stuff we will receive, because if not, this video would easily be 25 minutes plus long. So I didn't want to do that to you. I wanted to keep it as short as possible while giving the details you guys need. Now, as I said at the start of the video, I spend a lot of effort on my videos. I put a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of script writing, make sure I have everything correct. And even then, I still have, misspeaks because of how long I'm speaking in these spurts. So, as I said at the start of the video, I have a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by March 2025, but hopefully we can hit it earlier. I spend a lot of time on these videos, so if you enjoy them, let me know down in the comments, leave a like, maybe even subscribe. It helps me out a ton and helps me run towards that Gaijin partnership goal, which is actually pretty difficult to get at times. So yeah, if you enjoy content like this, check out my other videos. But besides that, R60 is signing off. I'll see you guys in the next one.